I've had enough talking about it, mate. I'm honestly bored of it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll just see. I'm ready to fight whenever they tell me, so just let me know. I'll be there. Anybody, I'm not really I've never been too bothered about a fight, mate, to be honest. I'd rather fight boxers than MMA. That'll work better for me, so just whatever. I'm not too bothered.
Wherever the money's at, right?
Wherever the money's at, I'll take it. No, we got work to do in the UFC first, mate, before I start thinking about WWE or boxing, so.
Tom Aspinall is frustrated as Jon Jones continues to avoid committing to their highly anticipated showdown. However, Francis Ngannou commented on Jon Jones's reluctance to fight Tom Aspinall, stating that while Aspinall needs the fight to solidify his status, Jones has little to gain outside of financial rewards. He questioned whether fans would prefer Jones to face Aspinall or Alex Pereira, emphasizing that Aspinall would present a tougher challenge due to his superior wrestling and ground skills.
He keeps saying he doesn't want Aspinall.
Aspinall will need that fight. I don't need it. When you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to make winning that fight if it's not money. But for Aspinall, that will be everything.
Would you rather see him face Aspinall or would you rather see him face Pereira?
Aspinall would be a more challenging fight because Aspinall responds to a ground game better than Pereira. Aspinall will respond better in wrestling than Pereira. He can do whatever he wants.
Kamaru Usman expressed his belief that Tom Aspinall is currently the most dangerous heavyweight and poses the biggest threat to Jon Jones's title reign. However, he also stressed that Jones should prioritize securing his financial future before taking on such a risky challenge.
You hit the nail on the head. I do think Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight right now. 100% the biggest threat to pry that belt away from Jon Jones. But Jon has got to get that bag.
Dana White, however, assured fans that Jones is fully committed to fighting, with discussions ongoing regarding the timing and location. He expressed confidence that the bout will take place in the summer, confirming that an official announcement will come once all details are finalized.
Train where he was saying like Jon's side is holding up the fight. What is he referring to there?
Well, I think that, listen, Jon Jones definitely wants to fight. Just when and where is what we're working on now.
Do you feel confidence? I think you said Jon
I'm
will fight
very
in
confident
summer on first
that fight happens, yeah.
Summer?
Yeah.
But Tom Aspinall appears to have grown tired of waiting for a fight with Jon Jones. He expressed frustration, stating that he's no longer concerned about the matchup and has lost interest in discussing it since Jones continues to avoid facing him.
I've had enough talking about it, mate. I'm honestly bored of it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll just see. I'm ready to fight whenever they tell me, so just let me know. I'll be there.
Aspinall further added that he isn't too concerned about who he fights, but he would prefer facing boxers in MMA as it suits him better. He emphasized that his focus remains on the UFC for now, and while he's open to different opportunities, he'll go where the money is.
Anybody, I'm not really I've never been too bothered about a fight, mate, to be honest. I'd rather fight boxers than MMA. That'll work better for me, so just whatever. I'm not too bothered.
Wherever the money's at, right?
Wherever the money's at, I'll take it. No, we got
another highly anticipated showdown that fans have been eagerly awaiting is the clash between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. But Curtis Blades said that if Islam takes him down, it won't be easy. It might take some effort to get the takedown, but Islam will keep looking for it. Once he gets it, he'll probably just squeeze and control him, leading to a decision victory.
Islam takes him down. It won't be easy to get the takedown, but he will be constantly looking for takedowns. Once he gets it, he'll probably just squeeze him and smush him, and it'll be a decision victory.
Eddie Cha said he thinks Ilia Topuria can win, calling him one of his favorite fighters to watch due to his distance control and striking. He noted Ilia's strong grappling background in Brave before the UFC, where he dominated with takedowns. Cha is impressed by how quickly Ilia improved his striking and offensive skills. However, he's concerned about the size difference and grappling exchanges. Despite this, Cha favors Islam in the matchup.
Yeah, people probably think I'm crazy, but I think Ilia can get it done.
Okay.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch right now. His distance game. I mean, if you've seen him when he was like 6 or 7-0 at Brave before the UFC, he would just take guys down and just grapple. You know, I think that was his biggest strength. That's why I'm so impressed with that guy, because for him to be as good in striking in a short amount of time, understanding the game and how he runs his offense, it's phenomenal. So, a size factor is my biggest concern, and think the grappling, we'll see what happens, but I like Ilya on that one.
Joshua Van said Islam is hard to beat, but he's leaning toward Ilya because he's a striker like himself. He explained that as a striker, he naturally connects with Ilya's style, so he's picking him.
But Islam is hard to beat, you know what I mean? But I'll go with Ilya just because he's a striker like myself, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Austin Vanderford said it's always tough to go against the Dagestani fighters, especially when talking about someone like Islam, who's arguably the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. However, he believes Ilia Topuria is something special. Vanderford highlighted Ilya's boxing and wrestling skills, mentioning a stat he saw last week about Ilya rarely throwing head or body kicks in his UFC career. He noted that Ilya's striking is precise and calculated.
Man, it's always tough to go against the Dagestanis, especially when we're talking about, you know, pound for pound, one or two best fighter in the world. So, but Ilia Topuria is something special. His boxing, his wrestling. I saw a stat last week. It was like, I don't think Ilya's thrown a single head kick or a body kick his entire UFC career or something.
Vanderford added that Ilya is a slow, methodical fighter who processes information well during fights. He pointed out that it only takes one moment for Ilya to capitalize and make a difference. Despite the challenge, Vanderford is going out on a limb and picking Ilya in that matchup.
Man, I mean, that's another one of those situations where it just takes one for Ilya, and you know, he's kind of one of those slow, methodical guys, and you know, he's always processing information in the fight. I'm gonna go on a limb and say Ilya in that one.
Javier Mendez thinks a matchup between Makhachev and Ilia Topuria would unfold differently because of Islam's more complete skill set, especially in striking. Mendez highlighted Islam's talent for blending striking with submission techniques.
It definitely, in my opinion, would play out differently because they're not the same fighter. They're not the same fighter. Islam is more well-rounded than Khabib ever was, you know. So Islam is at the point where he's pound for pound #1 because he's well-rounded in all the areas. Khabib was not as well-rounded as Islam is in the striking. His attributes was the ground and the submission and how he can smother you and just, you know, make you feel like you're trapped and you can never get out. Islam doesn't have that type of game. He's got a different type of game. His game is incredible. It's submission level based more than anything. And as you've seen it with all his submissions, you know, it's different. It's different. They're not the same fight at all. It's an entirely different fight. Entirely different fight.
He also pointed out that Islam is versatile, capable of exchanging strikes or securing takedowns. Mendez noted that while Islam excels in wrestling, MMA wrestling is a distinct skill, making him a particularly tough challenge for Gaethje.
Islam, he can do it all. He can stand with him. He can take him down. He can do anything, you know. And you know, before anybody starts thinking about, well, you know, he's the Division I wrestler, this and that, but hey. He was a Division I wrestler that was wrestling with Jordan Burroughs, and that didn't help him with Khabib. So trust me, when you're talking MMA, there's a difference between just wrestling and MMA wrestling. Khabib was the master, second to none on MMA wrestling. And Islam, I'm going to say, is a close second. But they're different. But he's a close second when it comes to MMA wrestling.
Julian Arosa said he's heard nothing but great things about Ilia Topuria's grappling and wrestling. If the hype around his skills in those areas is true, Arosa would go with Ilia 100%. He added that if Ilia's wrestling, grappling, and strength live up to the expectations, he believes Ilia can beat Islam.
I hear nothing but great things about Ilia's grappling and his wrestling. So if he lives up to the hype around his grappling and his wrestling, then I got to go with him 100%.
And you think he does? Do you think he can beat Islam?
Well, you know, if the hype is real about his wrestling and his grappling and his strength that I've heard, then if I go with that as truth, then yeah, I think he beats him.
Modestas Bukowska said he can't see anyone beating Islam due to his elite wrestling, striking, and jiu-jitsu. While he acknowledged Topuria's sharp boxing and improved grappling, Bukowska's highlighted Islam's ability to secure takedowns and control fights, as seen against Poirier. He believes it will be a tough challenge for anyone facing Islam and leans toward him in the matchup.
I can't see anyone beating Islam. Just his wrestling is just so good. Obviously, Topuria's leveled up massively over his last couple of fights. His jiu-jitsu is also very good, but Islam's jiu-jitsu very good. It seems that Islam's like striking and range finding is like very, very good, but Toporia's boxing is so sharp, he's able to close the pressure. But I think, you know, like you saw against Poirier, like if he can just duck underneath and get into the takedown, I think it'll be a long night for whoever faces Islam, so I'll probably lean towards him.
As of now, there is no official confirmation of a fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. Recent reports indicate that Makhachev's team has declined a bout with Topuria, suggesting that Topuria should first secure a victory against a top lightweight contender before challenging for the title. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about it? Is Jon Jones ducking Tom Aspinall? Share your thoughts in the comments section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.